the Russia bar, was it? Your life ends here.
Not if yours ends first.
Hello and welcome to a God is Geek preview chat. Today we are going to be talking about the relatively soon to be released Prince of Persia The Lost Crown. I believe it's January the 11th. That's come around really quickly. I'm joined here by Mr. Adam Cook, who has been previewing it. How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. I'm good, thank you very much. Yourself?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, it feels like we've only just got over 1 year and we're back to another...
Yeah, there's always a game you sort of get to play for next year a little bit earlier, and this year for me it's Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, which is delightful, to be honest with you, because it's a MetroidVania.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for it to be fun to play and to be something a bit different. So yeah, what's it like, mate?
So it is a traditional Metroidvania, right? And the reason I say that is because I've found that recently, it's a genre I love, but most developers seem to sort of... It's been amalgamated slightly into the Souls-like games. Like, they tend to be a Metroidvania with Souls-like mechanics. And towards the end of this year, we've had The Last Faith and Cookie Cutter, which have been old-fashioned Metroidvanias, and this is another one. And it makes sense for me because it's Prince of Persia, and it started off, as this side-scrolling 2D thing. And I have to say, so we got to play 3 hours-ish, give or take, of the game. I actually finished it earlier because I've been hammering so many of these Metroidvanias lately that I was just flying through it. Yeah. But the biggest compliment I can give is that when I normally 3 hours is quite a lot. I don't know. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I don't get to sit and play 3 hours of any game very often, and I don't think there's very many games that I would play 3 hours non-stop and be like, I kind of want to carry on. That would be enough for me, and I'll play a bit more tomorrow or later, but not in one session. This game, I just wanted to carry on. It just got to a really cool point in the story, and then I was like, that's as far as you're allowed to play. I was like, oh, really? Because it's a traditional Metroidvania. It starts off quite slow. You are Sargon, and you're running through this battlefield with your Immortals gang. I don't know why they're called Immortals, and I know that sounds really strange, but they don't seem to be immortal. So I won't go any deeper than that, but I don't think they're immortal because there's a blacksmith in this game that you meet that is like, well, how does it feel to meet as true immortal? And I'm a bit like, what's going on? Because that's a bit strange. Because the other thing I would say about it is, although this is very traditional Metroidvania, it's also kind of traditional Ubisoft storytelling in that it's quite front and center. Where a lot of Metroidvanias will just maybe give you a cutscene, then leave you to it for 10, 12 hours, maybe a bit of dialogue. This has got cutscenes throughout. It's also got loads of boss fights throughout, but they're all really, really good. There was not one single boss fight where I wasn't like, this is cool. I really like this. And some of them are really kind of quite big set pieces, and some of them are just a bit... You just walk into a room and it's like, oh, hello. There's a health bar appeared on the screen. I've got to beat this boss. But they're also really good with checkpointing. It does that thing where, if you fall on spikes, it's instant death, but the checkpoint is often just before the spikes. It's really good. So you've got all that. You've got all the Metroidvania. You've got the map. You can make markers. Interestingly, they do something with the memories that I thought was quite cool. Sorry, I've said memories. I've spoiled it for myself. The markers are like memories. You have a set amount of them, and you can literally mark the map, and it puts a little video and a little picture of what you were... So it's not just a case of leaving I've left a treasure icon there because there's a treasure. You can kind of in-game screenshot it, and it attaches to the map, which I thought was a really cool idea. And it also sort of plays into the whole memories and time stuff, and because of course we are doing that again, by the way, just to let you know, this is a Prince of Persia with all the times weird stuff. You do get your abilities. Yeah, no, it wouldn't. You get your abilities. I think they mix it up in a slightly interesting way. I don't know if you played Metroid Dread, but they kind of did this, where it's you normally would expect to get this mechanic than this. When I finished my 3 hours, I didn't have a double jump. There's definitely a double jump. There's definitely a double jump. Or some sort of move that can go up. But there's some sort of, But you also kind of start with wall jumps and slides on the floor. So you're quite mobile. And it's he's got 2 scimitars. It's all very quick action. You're dashing through them with iframes, turning around and hitting them. It's 2D with 3D backgrounds. So it's, There's also a hub in this place. It's a Mount Cuff. Or Quaff, I forget how they pronounced it. Mount Cuff, I think, Quaf. QAF. And in this hub, there's like a person you can upgrade with. There's a blacksmith. There's a small child that you can buy maps off when you find them in each part of the world. A bit like, I think Ori did that, and I think Hollow Knight did that as well. But you've got amulets, but you've also got like magic, and so there's strategy elements to it. So the amulets can do things like, for one of the longest times, I had one that gave me like an extra health pip. And that saved me, actually. It only once you lose that health pip, it doesn't regain if you heal. It's like it's only once you've gone to a save point you'll get that extra health pip back. And there's all sorts of stuff like all these. There's lots of amulets, and some of them are upgradable. Some of them, there's a lot to it. The spells are interesting because, like, when you start out, you've got one that just does like a forward dash attack, and it's animated. It's like not a cutscene, but it's undodgeable, but equally, if you whiff it, you're screwed. And as you progress, you get more of them. Like one, you could do like a big sort of, it's like an earthquake or a shatter effect where it knocks everyone away and puts like a healing pool for you. So that's cool. But that's a level 2 spell. So if you use that, you need to get your meter up to level 2, and then you're burning the whole thing. Whereas you could use it twice with the level 1 sword attack. So there's a lot of that comes into play in boss fights about how you want to deal with it. And they give you I know I'm sort of garbling a bit, but it's really left me excited because there's so much going on, man.
Stuff like this, the games like these, I want the traversal to be as tight and as fluid as it can be, because otherwise then they're nowhere near as fun.
Yeah.
And when they nail that, which it sounds like they're getting there, you know.
I literally came away with, I think, only one complaint, right? There's a and I don't think it's a big one. Because I think everything about, like, there's a parry, for example, but Cookie Cutter does this, and actually The Last Faith, I keep using these two as yardsticks, but the two are the best from this year, from the genre. You do and can parry, but also, once you've done the tutorial, if you don't ever want to do it again because you don't like parrying, you'll be okay. It's not like ever a requirement. There's a boss you can parry, and it's a massive window. It's quite generous. I didn't find the game tough. Like, I did die, but I didn't find it tough. The only issue I came away with is there's a lot of enemy variety in this game, which is, again, awesome. You know, there'd be flying enemies, you can use your bow, you get and stuff, and there's a chakram you can throw around and solve puzzles with. There's loads of puzzles. There's one enemy in a section, I can't say mid-game, but mid-preview, sort of mid what I played. There's like this big jailer walking around with his bell, and around him there's a big bubble, like a opaque bubble. And if you go in that bubble, whether it's above, below, near, next to it, whatever, it sets him off and he non-stop will chase you until you, like, you know, in these games when you move to the next screen, they don't follow you, sort of, it's like a screen, but they chase you. And the trouble is if that I couldn't find a way of killing them, but I could disable them. But if they hit you, they grab you and they put you in prison. Now, the first time you go to prison, no big deal. You break out. It's like it's a new area to you. You know, you're looking around. You're sort of trying to find secrets. But then they catch you again, bang, you're back in prison. You've already unlocked everything. It's just a case of running back to where you are. So it's kind of, I found that bit a little frustrating because it kept, maybe I was just doing it badly or rushing, but I kept getting caught. Whereas, I wonder if you can kill them later.
Possibly, yeah.
But it was just a bit of a weird thing because everything else about the game was kind of player first. It all felt like it was designed for you to have a not power fantasy, because like I said, I did die a few times, but it was designed for you to feel good. And this one, Christ, what, 20-minute section of the game maybe? I sort of kept getting caught. Part of it was experimentation, because I was trying to work out, can I kill them? Do I have to aggro them first? Because I did manage to knock one down, but then eventually they get back up. Yeah. But those, you know, it's one of those where, caveat, I haven't played the whole game. I don't know if they lean more on that type of thing later on, but in the first 3 hours, that's one enemy. Yeah. And I really like the story. It's interesting. I like everything about it apart from that bit. Yeah. Like this is a game come January I'm really excited to play more of. I'm in a real MetroidVania zone anyway, but I really cannot wait to...
Well, it's not that long. And
no.
Yeah, so it's all good. So you can go and read Adam's preview on godsgeek.com. You could also go to our Patreon, patreon.com/godsgeek, and you get podcast early, giveaways, all kinds of special content there. And if you want to watch our videos, keep notified, whatnot, subscribe, hit the like button, bell, whatever icon it is these days, you can do that underneath this video. Thank you very much for joining me, Adam.
You're welcome, mate. Cheers.
And thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.